How much will 100 Lukso cost by the end of 2024? I want to do a deep dive on all the bullish news and update you on it. Hi guys, so I wanted to start with this screen. So we see different founders of different projects, and one of the main things why there are 4 of these here is because they are all originally from Ethereum development team. So they all have been working on Ethereum and they all made Ethereum a success that it is today. Vitalik is essentially the main one who probably stayed with Ethereum for all this time. We see that Ethereum is at 500 billion market cap currently. The second one is Cardano, which is around 70 billion. Then we have Polkadot, which is at 44 billion. And then we have Lukso, which is at 0.35 billion at this stage. So it's a very interesting correlation in terms of the success of the projects of all these founders. And if we want to ride this dark horse, that's definitely Lukso at this stage with all the narrative, and like market will pick it up as like crazy once they would understand that this is the founder from the same team, is the same narrative as Cardano, is the same narrative as Polkadot, and it's a bunch of things that this blockchain is actually solving in terms of the real world problems, and a bunch of new audience and new people that this blockchain aims to onboard in Web3 as well. One of the great things I like about their positioning, because it's very, very important what type of positioning the company has and what type of market they're trying to target. If you would just Google Lukso, this first thing you would see Lukso, the new creative economy, which is huge by itself, because creative economy is like the main narrative, the main growing sector in the market from like 2008 when Facebook was initially introduced, and it's been growing like crazy since then. And right now you can like apply it in any type of business, and like a lot of businesses, a lot of B2C type of businesses, local businesses, they are only thriving thankfully to creative economy, because they create content on social media, they provide value, and this way they attract customers to their business and to their service. And with the user experience, with all the things that are happening with Lukso, we can specifically see the focus of this token on this part of the market. And it's very, very nice market to take. Basically, it's a very, very nice market to take the market share of at this stage. And I think it's a very great thing to adapt with crypto as well, because if you would think about creative economy, there are some things. So if you would even think about NFTs and last cycle, like craze of NFTs at the peak of 2021, one of the main narrative that was promoted there is that it's like a monetization of creative economy, additional things for artists. Artists, they were making crazy money. So it's following the same type of narrative as the craze of NFT 2021. I'm bullish. I'm definitely bullish on this. So I want to start with the overview of the founder of LYX, Fabian. The interesting thing is to try to get into his mind, understand how he thinks, whether he's talking about the price all the time, which is bearish, whether he's talking about the product, which is bullish, how well he understands the market, how much time he actually spent on the market, what type of connections he has, and things like that. So this is actually a pinned post on his profile. I want to repeat it again. We're not working for the price, but a tech that will change the world. It will be valuable if it brings value to people. So it's a very, very nice narrative to have. And it's kind of something that I remember Chas Hoskinson saying in the last market when Cardano pumped as well. But these things can be artificially pumped to fake. They take the time they take to grow. That's why EOS and LYX are not the number one blockchains, but Bitcoin and Ethereum are. So it's straightforwardly about the value that these chains, that these tokens are providing to the audience. EOS, like they've raised like 10 billion in funds or something, and they basically just done zero value in terms of the things that they're giving to the audience and things like that. And it's a very healthy and nice focus of the founder to understand it, to know this, to know the history, and work in the direction of actually providing value, because market would always appreciate the value and market would always devalue the asset that is not providing the value. It's interesting that we recently had, which is one of the bullish news for Lukso as well, the onboarding of Lukso on Crypto.com exchange. And he mentioned that it's kind of funny that their tweets, they're usually having less views, and this one is getting 170k views, right? And if we would check about the pinned tweet, so it's only 300k views. So this tweet is basically 8x more than the average tweet, than the average views on Crypto.com Twitter account tweet, which is huge by itself. And I see way more activity about Lukso currently in Twitter. Like it was not like that 2 or 3 weeks ago. It was not like that. There is a bunch of activity, a bunch of people constantly sending messages. And one of the strong things in any crypto communities around any crypto project is the community. The people who are constantly shooting the project, that believe in the project, that know a lot about about the project and can educate other people on the project, because people are usually making investment decisions based on information. And the more interesting thing is that they hold based on the information. Usually, if you are selling the token, that means that you just don't know enough information in terms of what will happen with the project, things like that. Maybe you just bought a token based on the call of some influencer, and then you're not very confident in the token, and therefore you are selling. I made this mistake with VPP. I should have had at least 100 or 150k in VPP at this stage if I did not sell, if I would buy more in the first place, but I only had 30, and that's the cost of my mistake. The other thing that is bullish as well is that he's focusing on the universal profiles, which is a new standard for wallets, to make sure that people will stop losing funds with sending funds to another network and things like that. And he sees them as final at this stage, and it's always great to see experience and expertise. And he also stated that ERC20, when he put it initially, it was September 2017, and only 18 months later it was adopted by the market. As mentioned in the previous video, I think the adoption will happen faster. Just something very, very bullish to see from the end of the founder, because he has been through these things. He understands them. He understands how the market works. He understands how technology works, how the niche works. So it's a very, very bullish sign from my point of view. Lukso website by itself, pretty nice design if you would check. It's like this minimalistic type of thing. So it's not connected with how they are presenting the products, because if we check universal profiles and we would create one, we would see that like it's way different UI and things like that. So I think it's an interesting part, because here they're targeting on crypto investors, like crypto people, maybe like tech geeks that understand things and things like that. Here they are targeting like default Web2 Instagram users. And it's a very bullish and nice thing to see that they're understanding these things and that they're following them as well in terms of different products. They are for different audience. So here they are attracting the customers. Here they're attracting investors and people who are generally interested, and developers as well, because I don't think for them at this stage it's more about investors. It's definitely more about developers, because the ecosystem, they need developers. And it's kind of bullish as well, because they're launching a bunch of hackathons. They will provide grants to people who would win on the hackathons, and it's bullish as the more developers they have, the more products they have, and the larger and faster the ecosystem is growing. One of the things of why I'm bullish on this thing is about universal profiles, because it focuses on social and creative interactions, and at the same time it removes this part in terms of like a need to send funds somewhere, in terms of like sending funds to wrong network and things like that. And one of the bullish things about them is also about gasless user experience, because I think it's a huge barrier, like a huge threshold for default Web2 users to enter like any Web3 applications at this stage, because they are not used to pay anything for using like Web2. You don't pay for Instagram, you don't pay for Facebook and things like that. So that's a huge barrier that we have currently in Web3 in terms of actually normies onboarding into the Web3. And at this stage, like Lukso, they're actually solving that with the fact that they're allowing the users to use dApps on the platform without having to like input any Lukso in the first place or pay the gas. And they have pretty nice implementations in terms of that. NFTs 2.0, which is the standardization of the NFTs on the market. Huge as well. NFTs are going up currently. We will definitely see NFTs bull market somewhere, I think actually about summer, autumn of 2024. We should definitely see one. And this is also bullish as well from my point of view. And one of the major challenges in adopting blockchain is the need to pay transaction fees with native blockchain tokens. This process often involves complex steps, which can be difficult and confusing for many users. Universal profiles and transaction relay service can fix this. So transaction relay service is something I've mentioned previously in terms of the ability for the users of dApps on Lukso not to pay funds, not to pay any money for the transactions on the dApps, which is huge just by itself. Universal profiles, transaction relay services. So it's a very interesting thread. It's definitely something to check out by itself as well. As mentioned, I'm very bullish on the products that are improving user experience, because they onboard more people into Web3, into crypto, and the more people they onboard, the more liquidity we would essentially see. There is also a white paper of Lukso as any project, obviously, and there is a range of use cases. Designers ICOs, provenance, smart IP rights, physical collectibles, digital closet, gamification, rental service, decentralized markets, customer engagement. So I would say that the main ones are for the Web2 type of audience: customer engagement and gamification. In terms of being able to build loyalty programs on Lukso for brands, for existing brands, for people, for influencers in different niches. Like, you might be like a small niche influencer with like only 5k subscribers, but these are very, very loyal people because it's a small niche, and you will be able to integrate Lukso to monetize the different interactions, create some items for longer term holders and things like that. Everything in decentralized way, everything in a gasless way, and they will actually be able to monetize the time that they are giving to you as an influencer, liking your content, liking your stuff, and essentially engaging with your content as well. This is huge. I think this is one of the great applications of blockchain and Web3 and a real life use case in order to making sure that with influencers, audiences, they would be able to monetize the time that they're spending actually liking something. I've been a fan of like Worker for 20 years. I've made zero money on it. So it would be great if I would be able to monetize it in a way while like when I'm watching stuff, like gamify something and things like that. It's just huge, very, very interesting incentive that we should have. So moving into the price prediction. Right now, market cap of the whole crypto market is at around 176 trillion. We remember that at the peak of the cycle of 2021, we had around 3 trillion, I think 3.5 at max. So currently people are expecting us to go to at least 10 trillion with the ETFs, with a bunch of institutional mining coming in as well, and essentially more people knowing about crypto currently as well. Interesting part is that with all this money flowing in, that they should be redistributed somewhere in the crypto, and usually the money flow in crypto, we go into Bitcoin, then we go to Ethereum, then we go to top alts, then we go to mid caps, then we go to low caps, then we go to shitcoins after that as well. So the price kind of comparison that I wanted to do is with the current market cap of the projects that we see here. So Polkadot, Cardano, and Ethereum, I think it's the most logical way to compare Lukso with, and I think that the things that they are saying that they want to do, that they want to change, they're way more bullish in terms of what Cardano, for example, doing from that point of view. In terms of Cardano, you have like a separate development language, which is very, very hard to code on as well. Like I heard from several blockchain engineers that like they don't want even to do anything with Cardano just because of the specific development language, which is kind of hard to pick up in the first place. So in the first place, we would compare it to the market cap of DOT at this stage, and we would see that it's 80x from here in order for Lukso to meet the DOT market cap. So I'm not saying that it will definitely do that. In order for us to be conservative, we can at least think that, let's say it's going to reach the market cap 5 times less than DOT. We should probably put us at 3-4 billion market cap, which is quite realistic in the peak of the bull from my point of view. And that would be like around 15-16x. I think it's quite nice for this type of token with the current market cap and with the fact that I think it would be very, very hard to dump the price on Lukso. Like, I don't think that people are planning to sell at any stage at this moment. The second thing that we can compare Lukso to Cardano, which is around 43 billion market cap, and we would say 160x from here. So Cardano, I think, is in top 8 of the market cap currently, but it's important to understand also that this is the market cap of the current market cap of crypto, which is 1.7 trillion. If we would think that the market cap would reach 8 to 10 trillion by the end of 2024, 2025, we will essentially see that's at least 7x, 5, 6, 7x on the current market cap. So it's probably like around 5, 6x on the current market cap of the whole crypto. So number 8 should be at least 8x larger from here. So it's not going to be a 20 billion token. It should be a 160 billion market cap token. And the same thing we can kind of do with Lukso as well, because it's currently on the market. So we're kind of getting 8x's by default, because I do expect that Lukso will outperform the market, outperform BTC and things like that. So 8x's by default, plus on top of that, this is surge of Lukso, plus on top of that, the surge of Lukso in top 20, top 10 token. And obviously we would compare it with ETH, which is kind of crazy. It's 2000x from here, and ETH I think is around 500 billion market cap right now. Oh, it's actually 275. So let's say Lukso will be able to get to a top 20 market cap. It's 4 billion at this stage. So it's 10x's from here. So your 100 Lukso will be worth $8,000 at this stage. And obviously this is the number 10 at this stage, which is Atom, right? If we would do an 8x on the whole market on top of it, we would essentially do 8x on top of all the access that Lukso would get if it would get into top 20 as well, which is 10x from here plus 8x on top, which is 80x in total. And that would mean that your 100 Lukso currently would be $80,000, which is quite crazy, quite nice by itself, right? But it's 80x's from here. It's the scenario where the market is validating the fact that Lukso is providing value. There are working dApps on Lukso and there are working ecosystem that's being used, and the Lukso is onboarding more people into the niche as well. If it would be a great success, and for example, we would see number 10 in terms of the coin market cap. In terms of the number 10, that's 30x's on Lukso plus 8x in the whole market. So it's 24x from now. Essentially 100 Lukso with 240x. If we would be seeing Lukso in the top 10 of the market would turn into 200k. Can this happen? No one knows. But I do like the product. I do like the understanding of the team, of the focus. I do like the target market as well. We don't have a lot of dApps, and I would say there are two main risk points there currently. First of them is marketing, whether or not they will be able to fundraise for marketing. But I think its question is almost closed at this stage. I'm quite sure that they're already talking about fundraising for marketing and they have funds in order to do that. The second thing is whether or not the product will find product market fit. Thinking especially about crypto, where people are just throwing money into something that is just based on the narrative. It might just not even have like a working product like Cardano. I don't think it has like a lot of users and a lot of adoptions at this stage. It's kind of like a meme coin from one point of view, because the things are happening there. People are developing something here, but it's hard to hear about like product on Cardano that is like being widely used somewhere and things like that. If Lukso will find product market fit, if it will be able to get to top 10, that would be 240x from here, following the current numbers of the top 10 and our assumption that the market will reach $10 trillion, which would basically put us around $1,800 per one Lukso. We'll see. So this is it, guys. This is my overview in terms of the price predictions and things like that. I think it's quite stable, 15x from here. And the other things, they will depend on whether or not the product will be able to find product market fit and essentially fit with the narratives that would thrive on the market. But I think there is a very, very high chance for that, because there is a range of narratives that this project is promoting. And the main one is the improvement of user experience to onboard more people in Web3 and increase the liquidity coming out from these people as well. Thank you, guys, and see you in the next one. Bye-bye.